Well, this is Baruch here, your very own Sabbath, the Tikkun Elevator Kollel, trying to get some ideas out. I don't expect, the way that the world is at the moment, that this is going to become, like the, what do they call it? Going viral. Excuse me, going viral. This is trying to bring us to the center of reality, where reality begins. I think one of the assumptions that Kabbalist has is that the world is moving. And one of the mistakes that the ideologues out there have is that the world can be fixed and made permanent if we could just straighten it out the right way. So we had Hitler's version. Now we're looking at the version of the radical left Islam with their money. But the world continues to move. It's not static. It constantly changes. So here we have a situation where we went and we said the Kriya Shema. We said the first letters. And this is the Siddur, incidentally, a Rechovot Hanahar, if I didn't mention it. And let me bring it over here so you can see what I'm talking about. This is the Sephardi version of the Rechovot, of the Nahar Shalom, written by Rabbi SHARABI, Shalom SHARABI. We saw the putting together of the combination of these names and producing Mohim, and we brought us down into the name Echad, which is 9 plus 1, and a new concept on the letter Dalet brought us to the concept of the 4 Misas of Beis Din. Now, one of the things about this limud is that I guess you can't do this limud on the fly. So if you go to most places where people are learning, they're moving. Maybe I actually have never been into a Kabbalah yeshiva. I take that back. I was in Shar Shemayim, and people are a very different ethnic group from me. They do. I mean, obviously, much of what I learn is coming out of that yeshiva. It's an Ashkenaz group. I don't know. I can't really tell the difference. It's because they're a different culture from me, a different language. So it's very hard for me to plug into them. But nonetheless, we're getting here to the Arba Mises Beis Din. Goes on the letter Dalet. We went over that yesterday, once again, in the Nekudot Hakesef Siddur, which is Hasidish. And now we're going to come and see what happens as a result of this tremendous springboard of offering our souls to God. Now, the deeper you could get into your soul and the soul that you want to bring to God, the more you know about your needs and what you need God to help you with, the closer you could come to Him. And it's the energy from the feeling of not having, of needing help, that actually brings out a tremendous amount of shefa. And as you are bringing up your soul in the Arba Mises Beis Din, you come to Yakave La'alos, the Naranchi, which are the Oros, Shalo, Im Hanuk Dezer Anpin, in a Rapach El Hazer Anpin. The Rapach represents lost particles of ore in the midst of the darkness in which we live, as Rabbi Yaakov Hillel says. We're 80% bad in this world, 20% good. If you think about it for a minute, and you think of all the different nonsense that's going on in the world, and here in the middle of this, in the hidden place here in Boca Raton, we're learning this. And these are the Rapach. These are the 72. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very confusing to me, and I really would like to take time to go back over this in the Otros Chaim and the Eitz Chaim. That it says, this is the Gematria 72. So the name Av, the Sag, so Sag, which is this name, is 63. Take its 10 letters, you make 73. So that's supposed to be, that is the second 72, because you combine it with the name Av, with the name that comes out to 72, but it's a 72 of Ma, which is 26, and 45, which is 71. So you have 72, 73, 71, which is 3 times 72. And then you have this Ravua down here, which represents the Malchus Dika aspect of Yud, Yud K, Vav K, Gematria 72. So what all that means, I'm not 100% sure. Because you're dealing with bringing sparks of Kedusha out of the trap of the world that we live in. So then he says, Sachatol is Rapach is 288. And he says, Yakavin Lachaber Zun. So you have to have this idea to join together Zun.Amischaberes Rachel im Leah. So he says what happens as a result of this is that, first of all, Zun, that is the Malchus Dika aspect, which was being Mavarer, all of these 288 Nitzutzim, is coming back into, is being lifted up as a result of this letter Daled along with it. And as a result of that, you're getting a yichud of the name Havaya and Adni, which is, he says, Rochel, he says, in his Chaver, said that wrong. Yekavin Lachaber Zun. This is Zun, in oneness. And this is a kavana not for this world yet, a kavana for the world of Etzilut, of Etzilus. And then after that, he says also Yaakov and Leah had, Rachel and Leah, that Leah had taken over the position of on the back of Yaakov, and she are the Zeranpin, and she was all the way down at the bottom. Now Rachel comes back and joins together with Leah. So then he's Agam Yakavin La'alos Nishma Zun. So now you want to bring up the Neshama of Zun. That is, you want to bring up everything that you brought, that you brought in up until this moment. Im nishmasam, together with your nishmaso, he means his, that means your neshama. A nishmas ha-yisod de Eric Anpin, together with the yisod of Eric Anpin. Shebabina de Zer Anpen, which is found in the Bina of Zer Anpen. Let's go like this. Yesod of Eric Anpen extends into the Bina of Zer Anpen. Ima Berurim Anaz Laman La'aba Ve'ima. And the idea, I have to read it one more time to try to see if I can understand the language better. He says, Gam Yekavin La'alos Nishmas Zun. Vehem Osam Hamochim. And what is this neshama of Zun? They actually came in when you said Shema. When you said the Shema, you brought in these Mochim of Zun. Im Nishmaso, together with his, that is your neshama. Im Nishmasa Yisod de Eric Anpin, in Nishmaso, Im Nishmaso, and you're going to go up. You're going to Im Nishmaso, Im Nishmas HaYisod de Eric Anpin. And this is the part that I don't understand. He says the Yisod of Eric Anpin is in Bina de Zer Anpin. To be mashpia to it. Ima Berurim Anaz Laman La'aba Ve'ima, together with the Berurim that we mentioned here, that are going to go to Mayim Nukvin La'aba Ve'ima, is going to go up into Abba Ve'ima. And here I guess he's showing us this is Nai. This is Netzach Hod Yisod. Now the Elokim, I'm not sure what it's doing here, but here it is, and it's an indication of continence. We'll bring that up. Let's see if we can understand some more from this. He says, when you're bringing this up, so that was really a synopsis of the Aliyah here. So he says, La'alos, V'gam Yakavin La'alos HaMochash Niknasuch B'Tevis Yisrael. When you said the word Yisrael, you said Shema. Then the next word was Yisrael. You're going to bring those up too. What are they going to be? They and all of their oros. Shebechem umakifim canal, and the makifim that we mentioned up above. Makifi the lamed men the tefuna. So here we have the oros of the makifim. Keser, Chachma, Bina, Das, Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferes, And then it has some sort of a lavush. It's an ekya plus the 10 letters, which is that number 31, which we've seen a bunch of times. And then they expand it out. And this is going to be the number 41. Let me just count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. And you take that and you put it together with these 14. Doesn't help me. I guess it's got to be, let's see, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So this makes 40. Not sure I thought it was going to be 41, but it's 40. Gam Yakavein la'alkol samochim shenikdazuch b'tevis Yisrael. So you're going to take these mochim that came in, then they went down. We're now going to elevate them. B'tevis Yisrael v'hem the ranchi penimi diyasas, which is the ranchi, the penimi diyakos. So what he showed us on this page is the lamed mem looks like this. And now we're going to see the tzadid tzalm. So that's the lamed mem tzalm. This is the tzadid tzalm. Gam yakaven la'alkol samochen shenikdazuch b'tevis Yisrael. Gam, you should have this idea, is to elevate the mohim that continue to come in b'tevis Yisrael when you say the word, when you said the word Yisrael. V'hem hanaranchi penimi diyasas, which is the tzadid tzalm. This is also going to come up. All of this is moving upwards. Where is it moving upwards to? It's working up for man, that is from the bottom to the top, the prayers from the bottom. La'aba ve'ima to Abba ve'ima, which is the parts of above them. V'zer al yedei shekabin. So how does this take place? Because you'll be able to have a kavanah. Shagam zun mevarim, that also zun, the same thing that we are doing as we're making mevara the rapach, that zun is also mevarim berurich abba ve'ima shenaflo b'makom zun. So those aspects that have fallen, which came down, berurim abba ve'ima shenaflo, that fell b'makom zun into the place of zachar v'nog, which is also called chagat and nai. V'yakaven la'orer man, and so the idea is like this: you're going to bring this up to that place, and you're going to arouse the man umad, the abba ve'ima ayidech neshama. I think it's ayideh neshama v'chaya. Maybe it means umad, the abba ve'ima eloyin. That's oftentimes what it means, the highest level. Neshama v'chaya, that bring this level, which is, neshama refers to bina, chaya refers to chochma shalom, v'ayidei av sag, v'ayidei av sag. Now I have a problem with this ayin yud here. I'm not doing a good job with it. Ayin yud there. Let's read it one more time. Zun is also going to go through a bureau process, and it's going to bring up lost particles of Abba Ve'ima, Shenafla B'makom Zun, that fell into the lower level of Zun. Man Umad, the Abba Ve'ima, and so now you're going to try to bring answers and bring back Shefa to Abba Ve'ima. By why? Because of the lights that are inside of the person himself, by offering the neshama, the chaya, which is higher levels of light shalom, av and sag, and through also these mochim, which are called av and sag. Now remember, the abba ve'ima, the shama v'chaya, and the shama v'chaya are oros. And they're going to go into Av and Sag. They're going to bring them up. Now let's look a little bit more. Gam Yakavin la'alos Abba ve'ima leman the Erik Anpen. So the same process, we're going to take them up. That is what came from Abba ve'ima Eloin to Erik Anpen. Ayidishigam Hem Yivuru Abiruri Acharayim de Eric Anpin, because some of the Acharayim of Zer Anpin wound up in Abba Ve'ima as a result of the Shvira that took place, I guess. So he says that fell into their place. So now once we're in Eric Anpin, so now we're bringing up particles and bits of Eric Anpin that we want to bring higher. We want to bring this up. The Atek Yomim to Atek Yomim, which is the parts of inside, are also called up above Eric Anpin. Because there are also different aspects of the Atek Yamen which fell into Eric Anpin, so to speak, that fell from its place. So therefore we're going to do that too. So that the idea is like this. We don't know really all of the pathways probably of getting close to the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. It's a little bit vague here. But we have statements. And you reach the end of physicality or the ability of the mind to picture. I think that's what it is for me. So and also then take all of these berurim that you did, the av sag da'ak, to the very top level of the veil which covers the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, which is called Ak, Adam Kadmon. Once you get to that place, you're going to come in the Zavug Av Sag Da'ak, you're going to make the ultimate Yichud. I guess what he's saying like this, in the Av Sag Da'ak is the first place where you see that there is not 100% Yichud. So to go back to the place, let's say, where the separation took place between Av and Sag Da'ak, the very top part of Ak. That is the point of focus. Shehem Tame Av, which are called the Tamim of Av, Im Tame Sag. So we have a concept here of Tamim, Nekudos, Tagim, and Osios. I can't explain to what Tagim are, what Tamim are in this sense. It seems to me that is some sort of an atmosphere or music that I can't, I don't understand. He says this is what Av looks like. This is what Sag looks like. The Lazaveg, Av, Sag, Da'ak, and to put them together. There's two different ways they go together. That's interesting by itself. And it says Yud on the outside here is Yud on the inside. So we said this is a Yichud Kitzoni, the Chitzah Penimi. They both at the same time. So once again, though, you still see that there's a separation between them. Let me get a little drink here, 1 second. Now, this drawing that we're seeing here appears in other places. And this is, we're going to take a look at it. These are all the Yehudim. Okay, this is a Yichud Penimi with the Yud K, Vav K on the inside. Let's read what it says about it. He says, Motziyim Hayud Sefiris Dema. Now we have to understand like this. We have many broken pieces. The only way that can be fixed is by a yichud of Ma and Ben. So how does this happen? Well, out of the forehead of Zer Anpin, of all the Shefa comes up to the Av Sag of Ak. The Yud Sefiris Dema Memetzach Da'ak, from the forehead of Ak, because now the yichud and the tremendous light is coming together there. It's a generative light, which is going to be coming downwards to build and to fix, and it's called the Ma Chodosh. Im Tishlum Hayud Sefiris de Ben, together with the 10 Sefiris of Ben, Hayotze Me'ene Ak, because you have to go back to Olam HaNekudim and to see where the Ben comes from. The Ben comes from the Sag at the top of Ak, but it comes out of his eyes. that's a fact that you need to have to know. Hanogoyim lebirurim hanaz, that are relative to the birurim that we're talking about. V'nimshochin amochim hanaz im aranchi. So we're going to now take these mochin. And these are pictures of the mochin, I believe. Let's see. So he said, "V'nimshochin amochim hanaz im hanaranchi," together with the oros. V'or hatamim, and also the light of this concept called tamim, which is the highest level of closeness to the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. V'or ha'Ein Sof shebetochem, and inside of this, they wrap the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, what's inside of them, the Atik, and they're going to bring this shefa. Is now going to go to the parts of called Atik, V'yordim, and it's lavshim benai the Atik, and they go down through Atik, and then they reach the bottom of the Atik. And when that happens, Yakaven Zivug Chabad Denai the Atik. Now let's go over this phrase. At any rate, each one of these are all Zivugim going down. So let's figure out what he's talking about. So he says, Yakaven Zivug Chabad Denai the Atik. That's what it looks like. Okay. For Yakaven Zivug Chabad Denai the Atik. So the Chabad, so now he's telling us like this. In the Nai of Atik, there are three sections. There's a top section, there's a middle section, and a lower section. The top section is called the Chabad Denai. The middle section of the Nai is called the Chagad Denai, and the lower section is called the Nai Denai. Here we're going to the very top. Yakaven the Zavu Chabad Denai the Atik, and that's what it looks like. V'laham Shem, what happens as a result of that yichud? V'laham Shem mechem ha'aras tipos hub de chochma. So he says, as a result of that yichud that takes place in the Chabad Denai the Atik, he said, "V'lachamshech mechem ha'aras," the radiance of the tipos that are generated from that yichud, just like you have a yichud where in human beings, is that the male possesses drops. He says v'haras tipos. He has the of his inheritance of everything that's in him. Chub the Chochma, which is represented by the Chochma Bebina the Chochma. Remember, Chochma's 10 spheros. And 10 spheros that are the Chochma inside of Zer Anpin. And where are we going to take this? We're going to pour it out, Mashpia Oto, L'Chabad the Chagat Erich, to the top part of the Chagat Erich. Now, what did he say? The Kavod the Zivug Chabad the Nai the Atik. Then it's going to be a Kavod the Zavug Chabad the Chagat the Arich. So now we're in the middle section, the top section of the middle section of Arich. What are we doing in the middle section? Because we're dealing, I think, with continence. And as a result of that, you're always going to be with Chagat or Nai at the end point. So then we come to another Yichud. V'yakave lahamshech tipus amochin, the chob, the chochma. That is the chochma bebina of the parts of the chochma, the namu mu'ureves im or panimi v'kitzonis derech, mixed in with the he says the two different types of light. Now this is interesting. He didn't say the makif and the panimi. He said the panimius v'kitzonis derech ampin the mazel elyon, and it's going to go to the top mazel. Top mazel is mazel number 8. So he says in the beard of Eric Anpin, Gam Yakavin the Zavog Chagat Denai the Atik. So you have the idea you're going to make a yichud here with the Chagat and the Nai the Atik, which is the Zun of Atik. That's what it looks like. The Hamshik Tipos the Mochin, and what's it going to do? It's going to cause Tipos the Mochin to come out again. So in each level there is a yichud. The Chub de Bina, once again to the Chub of Bina. Before it was a Chub of Chachma, before it was a Chub of, let's see, he said Chub de Chachma de Zah. Here he says, Chub de Bina de Zah. Okay, that's what it is. It's the Chub de Chachma de Zah, Chub de Bina de Zah. And then we're down here, he said, L'hamshek Hamochin the Chub de Bina de Zah. So we're going to take those ones that came out of the Chub de Bina de Zah. Mu'reves im or Panimi or Chisoni de Rich. The mazel elyon to the upper mazel, which is the ace mazel. Gam yakava the zevug nine the atek. So also you're going to have an atek. He says that you're going to have a nine the nine. This has to be maybe gone over again because the order is not exactly what I thought it should be. But let's see, it is what it is. He says laham shecham mochin the chub de bina de zah. Mu'reves mixed in with the penimus of the or of the penimus of the chitzosias, the Eric Anpen, that are found here in the Bina Dezah. L'mazel elyon to the top mazel, which is the eighth mazel. Gam yakabim bezavog nai da'atek. So also you should have this kavana to make a yichud between the nai and the nai da'atek. Nai the nai, which is the lower part of the parts of called nai da'atek. And then there's the gam yakavim the zivug nai the atek. And there's the zivug. And and also now you're going to be the chug. This is the chutvadim megavura. This is chub de zah. So now we're in zeranpen. Mu'reves in or tame the atek, and it more atzmos. It has some of the light of atek within it. Lanai the hagat to the lower part of the middle section. The Eric Anpen shehem hatrin Kasvin, which are the two at the same place as the two shoulders of Eric Anpen. So you have one thing inside of the next. But the Zivug Anahi, the Chagat, the Eric Anpen, and also to produce that. Of the Nai, the Chagat of Zer Anpen make a Yichud, and it looks like this. So the idea that some of that is a little bit hard for me, but let's finish up. V'laham sheich tipos hamochim. Now we're taking the tipos of the mochim, the chub, the zer anpen, the chasadim and the gevuros that are coming out of the chochma and bina, the zer anpen, mu'ureves im or atzmos, the Eric Anpen. It has within it some of the light of Eric Anpen, or mu'ureves mixed in with the light of the atzmos of Eric Anpen. Gam came also the mazel elyon to the lower mazel, Miyakaban the zivug base mazel. So now you have the concept of the 8th and the 13th mazel, making a yichud. Notzer v'nake, that's the names of them. Notzer chesed v'elefim, notzer ava v'fesha v'chata'a v'nake is the last one. Shem av kasa. So he's got the zivug. The two mazels look like this. Yud, K, Vav, K, Aleph, K, Yud, K, in a shilav in one idea. And then the final, he says, Pyakavim the Hamshek Dalad Mochins the Chochma the Chaba the Abba should have this kavana that you're going to pour out the Mochim the Chochma the Chabad. Now let's put the Chabad, the parts of Chabad, which is the top section of Abba. Dalad Mochin there, which is Chochma Bina, Das, Gevorst the Chusan the Das, Gevorst the Das, that's 4. The Chochma the Chabad the Abba, the Dalad Mochin the Bina the Chabad the Ima. So he said, Yakavin Lahamshu, so you're going to bring all of that down too. Gam Yakavin Sha'al Yedech of a Riboya, or because there's so much light here, Nizdaka Yisod the Atek, it causes the Yisod of Atek to break open. Umizgalim Kol HaChug, and as a result of that, you're revealing all of the Chosadim and the Gvur V'ayidei Zechon Na'asim Abal V'yasos, parts of Echad, and this makes them both one part of. V'ima im Tevuna of parts of Echad, and Ima with Tevuna is one part of. V'yordim Abba V'ima Reloim, Mislavish V'Yisrael Saba Tevuna Harishainim. Now, this could go over. I ran out of steam here at the end. We'll try to go over some of it tomorrow and look at it a little bit more to get more in-depth understanding.